Hey, what's up, everybody? Archaic Records here with you again. My name is Jamie, coming at you from Nashville, Tennessee, and it is my great pleasure today to welcome you into my first episode of Morrissey Monday. Now, you might be asking yourself, why Morrissey Monday? Well, why not Morrissey Monday? And for that matter, can you think of any better way to start off your work week than with a little bit of the greatest singer and songwriter of all time, Stephen Patrick Morrissey? I don't think so. Anyway, for the first edition of Morrissey Monday, we're going to go all the way back to the beginning, or at least the beginning of Morrissey's solo career. We're going back to December of 1988. This is 2 years after the Smiths' final show in December of 1986, when Morrissey, along with Mike Joyce, Andy Rourke, and unofficial fifth Smith, I hate saying that, I actually don't really believe that at all, but unofficial fifth Smith, Craig Gannon, take the stage to launch Morrissey's solo career at the Civic in Wolverhampton, England. Now, I've heard other people debate that this wasn't actually an attempt to launch Morrissey's solo career. This was more of a funeral for the Smiths. Either way, I can see it going either way. I tend to like to think that it was more of a launch of Morrissey's career. In any case, this was one of the most anticipated shows in all of 1988. Fans were told that admission was free at the show as long as you were wearing either a Smiths or Morrissey t-shirt. And according to calculations I've read, only about a third of the people that showed up in the venue actually made it inside. And according to eyewitness accounts, what happened outside the venue actually got kind of ugly. It was decided right before the show, or at least at some time during the show, that the band was not going to play any Smith songs that had been previously played on stage by Johnny Marr. Again, I've heard some people say that this was out of respect for Johnny Marr, while I've heard other people argue that this was to sort of reduce the pressure on Craig Gannon, which must have been huge at the time. Either way, I think this is one of the most important single moments in the history of Morrissey's, at least solo career. And fortunately, at the time, it was recorded for BBC, a documentary for the BBC, and up until semi-recently, there was only really one bootleg of this show out there. This is a vinyl I got. This one came out in 2019. I really love this show. This is one of the most important, I think this is one of the most important documents in the history of at least Morrissey's solo career. And this is a must-have, I think, for any fan. The show starts off with Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This One Before. Again, none of these songs had ever been played live, so this was the first time the song ever got played live. I love the song Stop Me If You Think You've Heard This One Before. Of course, this was off Strange Ways, Here We Come. This is an outstanding rendition of this song. As Morrissey takes the stage, you can, especially in the video footage, you can just see his excitement, and vocally when he starts singing, you can feel that he's just like about to come out of his skin. And I really love this rendition of this song. Again, I think that this is such an important, great performance in his career. It's very brief, but this is such an important document in Morrissey's career. Again, I feel like his skin during this song is just struggling to contain him. Now, he may deny it now, but I think if you go back and you listen to the record, or if you really watch his performance in that show, I mean, his excitement is just like right there. Second song is Disappointed. This is another song I absolutely love the studio version of. Again, this is the first time the song is ever played. The song goes off pretty smoothly without too much interference. At some point during the show, the stage invaders really start to take over. But you can just, especially if you watch the live footage again, the excitement in Morrissey and the excitement in the crowd is just insane. And I've always told people this, especially non-Morrissey fans, people that criticize Morrissey fans for being too obsessed or too much in love with him. I think that the love affair between Morrissey and his fans has always been mutual, and I think if you ever doubt it, watching the video of this show, I think is proof of that. In fact, in an interview after this show, Morrissey talked about how much he liked being fondled. I know, tongue-in-cheek-ish. Somebody asked me if it was good to be back on stage. He said it wasn't good to be back on stage, but it was good to be fondled. And anyway, Disappointed. I love the studio version of that song. And I think this is a great rendition of this song on this record. And again, at some point the Stage Invaders really start to take over. But they haven't yet, and I think they get through that version of the song pretty good. After the song Disappointed ends, Morrissey, at least if you watch the film version, Morrissey just gets bombarded by Stage Invaders. There's sort of a long pause as the stage clears. And again, for the first time, the song is played, Interesting Drug. I love the song Interesting Drug. Again, it gets repetitive, but I do. Okay. I love it. By now, the stage is just a revolving door of the Stage Invaders. Most of them are acting pretty respectfully. Nobody's obviously out to hurt Morrissey. If you're judging the song based on the live performance, the band sounds absolutely amazing. Morrissey's just getting pummeled by Stage Invaders at this point, so he misses a lot of his performance on this song. But the band doesn't miss a beat, and I would say on every song on this record, the band, Rourke, Joyce, and Craig Gannon are just impeccable. And you have to give Craig Gannon a lot of respect. I mean, this must have been a very nerve-wracking experience for him, and I think that he was absolutely amazing on this show. And no matter what's going on around Morrissey, with the people coming on stage and all the chaos, the band just kills the entire show. And it's funny, on the film version, there's one of the bouncers is wearing a U2, a very recognizable U2 Rattle and Hum shirt. And I swear to God, if you watch the film, you see that guy's U2 shirt more than you actually see Morrissey, because he's always peeling the people off Morrissey. So that song ends, Interesting Drug ends. There's another long break while people are filing on and off the stage. I would say at this point in time, at least if you're watching the film version, it looks as though Mike Joyce and Andy Rourke are becoming a tad bit annoyed. Again, I think Craig Gannon is just in the moment. I think he's just there, playing wonderfully. But I think he might be kind of oblivious to what's going on around him based on the situation. But before Suede Head starts, I get the sense that Mike Joyce and Andy Rourke are becoming a tad bit annoyed by this point in time. It's at this moment when Mike Joyce, of course, famously teases a little bit of The Queen is Dead. They don't play it, and they go into Suede Head. The song starts off great. They've pretty much got the crowd under control. There is one part in the live performance where Morrissey is sort of inadvertently tackled by a stage invader who's sort of stumbling. Obviously means no harm. I love the song Suede Head. I know it's not really a deep cut, but you can deep lick my ass. I love that song. I mean, who doesn't love Suede Head? Honestly, if you say you don't love Suede Head, you're just saying that. But a great version of that song. And again, they kind of keep the crowd at bay, and Morrissey does a great job on this, and the band does a great job on this. For this record, anyway, side 2 starts with Last of the Famous International Playboys, another song I love. Again, first time it's ever been played. The song gets executed with very little interruption, or relatively very little interruption as compared to what else is going on in this show. Again, an awesome performance. I think when the band gets the opportunity to play and Morrissey gets the opportunity to sing, I think this is a great show musically. I'm biased. I'm totally biased. I admit it, but I think this is an absolutely great show. And Last of the Famous International Playboys, I think they kill on this version. Sister, I'm a Poet. The band sounds great on Sisters of Poet. Morrissey just gets bombarded again. He's kind of battling his way through the stage invaders. He's just kind of missing a lot of notes and words, but you can't blame him. Again, I just, the energy of that night just must have been incredible, because you watch this show, or you listen to this record, or you watch the video, you're not even judging the performance. You can just feel the energy in the crowd. And I think people were just, especially after the Smiths being away for 2 years, just the energy in that room just must have been like so jealous. Anyway, Sister I'm a Poet. Morrissey misses a lot of that song, but he's up there American Gladiatoring off the Stage Invaders. Death at One's Elbow. This is a very brief version of the song again. Morrissey's just getting mauled. It's just he's hopeless at this point in time. A very brief version of the song, but not a bad performance. Again, Andy Rourke and Mike Joyce look a little bit perturbed, I would say, but again, not a bad performance. The band, at least on the video, the performance of the band at this point takes a break. They come out for the last song, Sweet and Tender Hooligan. They get through the song uninterrupted, and this is one of my favorite versions I've ever heard of this song. I love the song Sweet and Tender Hooligans. That might be a top 20 for me. But they get through it without any sort of interruption. And man, that is the goods. That's one of my favorite versions, if not my favorite version of this song. The band leaves the stage. I think a very triumphant return for Morrissey, and perhaps a nice, fitting funeral for the Smiths, depending on how you look at it. Regardless of how you look at it, I think that this is one of the most important moments in the entire Smiths-Morrissey run, and certainly I think this is the single most important moment of Morrissey's solo career, and it's for that reason that if I had a time machine where I could go back and visit my top 5 most wanted to see Morrissey / Smiths moments, this would probably have to be like number 1, just to be in that room on that night with that energy. Just to see that firsthand must have just been absolutely incredible. Something I'm a little jealous of, I'm not going to lie. Now, obviously, going back and seeing the Smiths during, probably especially the Queen is Dead tour, which is my favorite Smiths record, that would be like another top 5, time machine moment. But I'd have to say, if I was allowed 5 trips in a time machine to visit Smiths and Morrissey related happenings, this would probably be the number 1 for me. Anyway, thanks for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, come back every Monday for more Morrissey Monday stuff. And if you didn't like it, I don't really care. Honestly, I don't. But I do want to thank you very much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. Remember to support your local record store. And, of course, listen to Morrissey. And if you haven't in a while, revisit the Wolverhampton show either on YouTube. You can watch the full film on YouTube, or CD, or preferably vinyl, obviously. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. This is Archaic Records. I'll talk to you next time. Where are you?